What is morphing? A complete guide to morphing animation. Morphing or morph animation transformed film special effects in the late 20th century through films like Terminator 2, Judgment Day. But what is the meaning of morphing? Where did it start and how does it work? Read this guide to find out. Morphing was originally used by Hollywood directors and special effects teams in the late 1980s and early 90s using powerful computers and pioneering software such as Gryphon software Morph and Image Master. One common example is morphing a face into an older one or even an animal or alien form. The technique has created some iconic pop culture moments, such as the liquid metal T-1000 character in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, 1991. But as technology has evolved, morphing has become more accessible and broadened as a technique. People can create morphing-style effects at home today using creative software. Morphing versus tweening. Morphing and tweening are often talked about interchangeably, but they are different. Tweening is more about animation and adding movement, whereas a definition of morphing is a film industry technique used to create special effects. Types of morphing. Morphing is mostly known as a visual effects technique in the film industry. It's also used in other mediums such as animation and 3D modeling. There are different approaches to morphing. Morphing at max speed. This type of morphing is often seen in the films. Objects are morphed while in motion. One example is the spaceship in Flight of the Navigator. By morphing objects that are in motion, it's easier to disguise any slight inconsistencies as they're moving at speed and less likely to be noticed. Direct morphing. You can also use morphing for more simple animations. For example, to transform a simple line-drawing shape into another shape. In Adobe Animate, you can use the Shape Tween feature to transition a square to an animated circle. 3D morphing. 3D morphing is another approach. Rather than being a film industry technique, it's used with 3D modeling. This type of morphing animation is used to transition between different movements. Each movement or pose is defined by a morph target. It's used to animate objects that haven't got skeletal structure. History of morphing animation. The origins of morphing animation are late 1980s, early 1990s Hollywood. The technique developed as digital technology began to transform how films were shot, edited and made. 1986, the film Flight of the Navigator used early digital morphing techniques to create the special effect of a spaceship that changed from chunky to aerodynamic as it speeded up. This was created by a team at Omnibus Computer Animation, including Bob Hoffman and Bill Kreiber. 1988 fantasy epic Willow broke new ground in visual effects with a morphing sequence that saw a goat rear up on its hind legs before morphing seamlessly into an emu, a peacock, a tortoise, a tiger and finally human sorceress fiend Raziel. 1991, the blockbuster sequel Terminator 2 Judgment Day used morphing to create one of the most iconic scenes in modern cinema. The T-1000, the villain of the film, morphs into people, objects and the floor. 1992 Gryphon software launches Morph, a program bringing powerful visual effects software to the Apple Macintosh home computer. The New York Times, the Washington Post and PC World magazines all wrote stories on it, bringing morphing tech to the masses.